This is Phil One in the basement. We're filming Daddy doing his podcast for the new sports thing. So let's just go up.
Welcome back to another episode of Time Out with the SportsDr podcast. This is the special anniversary edition. So just a few weeks ago, I texted my podcast developer, I texted my podcast producer and said, let's do something big for our 4th anniversary. Little did I know at that time, I will be standing in front of you with the Eiffel Tower in the background. I want to do this specifically because 4 years ago when I sat in a dark basement in Petal, Mississippi and launched this podcast, I had no idea that I could possibly one day do an episode in Paris in front of the Eiffel Tower. I want to share that because no matter what you're starting today, no matter how small it feels to you or how small it appears, you don't know where it's going to be in 4 or 5 years. This podcast has been something to help me grow. It's been something to help me mature. I've met so many people, so many different companies. I've formed so many different relationships over the last 4 years, and we're continuing to grow. So year 4 for me was a year of growth. At the beginning of the year, I knew that I had to change some things. I was starting to get burned out on the podcast. I have 3 kids, 3 very busy kids. I have a busy orthopedic practice. My wife has a busy dental practice. We have to do things with the kids. We travel a lot. The podcast was burning me out. So I decided to take a step back. We went from weekly episodes to twice a month, and I was worried. I worried that the people would stop listening. I worried that it would not be relevant anymore. I worried that the podcast would just completely go away. And what happened? The exact opposite. This year has been a year of growth. We brought on new companies that we partnered with. We're now partnering with Dr.Derrick Lending. We're partnering with Pattern Life. We've had many different great partnerships over the years, from Pearson Rabbits to Showering Properties to Sparkling Smiles Pediatric Dental, Saber Bats. These are the people that started off with me, and we continue to grow and continue to do things on a high level. So I want to thank you as a podcast community. I never thought I'd stand here with a pink suit on in front of the Eiffel Tower doing a podcast episode, but here we are, and continue to do whatever you're doing, continue to put your best foot forward, and you never know where it's going to take you. So one step at a time. Thank you for being a part of this community for the last 4 years. Hey, who knows where we're going? This year, I've been able to start public speaking. I've done a lot more guest appearances on Unc and Chico. Thank you with your YouTube channel, because that's how, originally when I started this podcast, I'm gonna have to play my first trailer that I sent in 2020 to the podcast competition. I talked about this will be the place where you come to find out about injuries for your athletes, to learn about all things sports and entertainment. I thought I was gonna be doing more of a in real time, things that are going on in the sports. It's turned into interviewing entrepreneurs, physicians, athletes, all the different things, all the things that I didn't really know that I needed to do, and that's really what it's been. So we've stood on the 3 pillars of to strengthen your mindset, to help you grow your assets, and to help you achieve whatever level of success that you want. And we've really just continued to do that with no matter who I'm interviewing or what podcast episode we're doing, we're sticking to those pillars and we're continuing to move forward. So thank you for 4 great years. I'm really excited to where we're headed. You're gonna start to see more of my family. They've been talking about doing a family vlog for our vacations. Anybody that's met my son within 5 minutes says he needs a podcast. I'm really starting to incorporate my girls more with the editing as well as video shooting. So stay tuned. Year 5, we're gonna continue to grow. Hello, iHeartRadio, and welcome to Time Out with the SportsDr podcast. My name is Dr. Derrick Burgess, and I'm a board-certified orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine specialist from Laurel, Mississippi. This podcast will provide an all-access view of what athletes go through, from injury to surgery, through the rehabilitation process that it takes to keep their bodies in prime condition for their sport. We will integrate the hot topics from the sports world, as well as cutting-edge technology from the orthopedic field. When injuries occur to top sports figures, we will break down the science behind the injury. We will talk about the injury, the surgery, and the expected time to recovery. Fantasy owners, no longer will you have to guess who to put into your starting lineup when injuries occur. I'm passionate about mentoring and inspiring young people to dream larger than their current situations. On this show, athletes will always be encouraged to be more than an athlete. Time Out with the SportsDr will appeal to avid sports fans worldwide. This show will be a one-stop shop for all things sports, medicine, and entertainment. Your coach, NFL veteran, now your mentor, philanthropist.
Are you the dream type of man are you? Like that's what's gonna draw me to you, like your morals. And so that's why that character piece is so important. Are you the dream? And I want it. I'm always the underdog, okay? And never been as big, as fast, or the strongest in nothing, but I'll be doggone if you beat me in anything. You're gonna have to peel me off of this grass today before I walk off this grass a loser, okay? New levels, new devils, okay? Yeah. New levels, bigger adversities. And so without overcoming the small adversities, and the small adversities are the big adversities, because the adversities that you think are not, like, you don't put that much weight on, like those are the ones that can take you down through that. But one thing I've learned, here's another quote: when you're faithful, the facts don't matter.
Okay, Daddy has now of his first reel, and now he has 247, so that's going to refresh. Let's see how many does he have. He has 345. Oh, I'm so happy. You should be like, look, Mommy, 335 over your first reel for Daddy. That's a good job,
We're just
Daddy.
going to hit it one more time.
One more time. I'm going to be happy. One more time. Yay!
Hey, what's up, everybody? I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you. I launched Time Out with the Sports Doctor a little bit over a month ago, and I've received nothing but love and support from each one of you. From the likes, the subscribes, the comments. It's been very overwhelming, the support that I've received. I've heard from people I mentor, to random strangers, to even family members of some of my guests about how positively impacting them. So thank you. If you continue to show up, I will continue to show up each week to bring you interesting guests, people who are trying to positively impact our world. Just the way that you can help this podcast is to, number one, subscribe and share. As well as leave a positive review, because a 5-star review is like gas for this podcast to continue to be visible and to continue in a positive direction. One thing is being able to be a doctor. So I know that I'm standing on the shoulders of, you, Dr. Martin Luther King, my father who integrated the school systems, and many people who gave their lives in bloodshed. So to see me be able to achieve the fact of being able to graduate from medical school, I know that every time you get to say Dr. Derrick, you feel a lot of pride. Tell me about that.
I feel a lot of pride, and I really mean it to my heart, that Dr. Derrick that I say to you on a day-to-day basis, even now when I call you, let me speak to Dr. Derrick for a minute. Even it's Dr. Derrick. It's Dr. Derrick because I feel so proud of you, Doctor, that you are Dr. Derrick, that you are working at this hospital, that you are getting the benefit of keeping the dream alive of Dr. Martin Luther King and the march alive of your granddaddy who marched with Dr. Martin Luther King, that could see his grandson being working and holding this position, but not to stop right there. I would like to see you, Dr. Derrick, to carry the light on forward. Now, we're gonna call this the light. We're going to call this the light. Now, at the age of 92, somewhere down the line, Big Daddy got to get out of here.
Right.
I know that I'm going. I ain't ready to go right now. I ain't going to stop. But when Big Daddy leave out of here, hold your right hand up. For Big Daddy wants the bar to be passed from my hand, because I'm gone home to live with the Lord. It's going to be in your hand. It'll be left up to you to tell your children and your children's children that I got the tosser in my hand, and I'm going to encourage you to move on and keep the dream alive of my granddaddy and the Martin Luther King. There's the hope.
So you're talking about passing the torch, symbolically passing the torch.
Yes, you.
At that point, I didn't even know what affirmations were, but I knew that I wrote that down, and I continued to say it to myself as I would struggle late nights with studying, as I would run up against exams or things that I didn't understand. I have what it takes to be a physician. Now I better understand what affirmations are, and I do them with my children. We do them as a family because I want them to understand that you have to speak life over yourself. Words are powerful. And if you're not telling yourself what you can do, you can't expect the world to have your back.
It's hard to believe it's been 4 years since I first hit record and launched Time Out with the Sports Doctor. What started as an idea to create space for honest conversations, where life, sports, and medicine intersect, has grown into something bigger than I could have ever imagined. I didn't create this podcast for fame or recognition. I created it because I wanted to speak truth, to share stories that matter, to help young professionals, athletes, and physicians feel seen, inspired, and supported. And over the years, you've made that possible. So today, I want to do something different. I want to celebrate this milestone with your words. Here are just a few of the kind things you've said. Dr. Burgess has an array of interesting topics and guests, enjoyable for physicians as well as athletes and entrepreneurs. Time Out with the Sports. Doctor offers a unique and inspiring perspective for listeners into the journeys to success and expertise of podcast guests. This is a very different podcast as it's not self-promotional. Derrick isn't a coach or selling some course. He's out there just giving straight talk to help doctors. I absolutely love listening to Dr. Burgess's podcast. As a fellow physician, I feel like he really understands the human side of medicine and always asks the most important questions. I appreciate how he dives into the importance of mindset in our work and how our profession impacts every aspect of our lives. Each guest he features brings a unique perspective to the table, and I always walk away with valuable insights that I can reflect on. This is a great podcast. I have learned so much from Dr. Derrick and the amazing people he has interviewed. This is a wonderful resource for physicians and non-physicians to learn wonderful lessons in life and acquire tools for success. Thankful that Dr. Burgess is using his voice and speaking on necessary conversations. These talks need to be held not only in youth sports, but in sports period. The podcast gives insight to so many things needed. Dr. Derrick Burgess is a great voice in the podcast arena, with athletes sharing their experiences and journey. Dr. Burgess incorporates his strong background, knowledge, and speciality of being a board-certified orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine specialist into the podcast episodes while sharing athletes' powerful messages. I really appreciate how Dr. Burgess allows himself to be curious of the guest. He asks those direct and thought-provoking questions to get some real insight and not fluff from the guests. I love this podcast. Dr. Burgess is enthusiastic, inspiring, and his energy is contagious. Aside from soaking up his medical expertise, I love this podcast because it reminds me of the importance of all the other things in life and motivates me to soak it all in. I watched your podcast with Keon Howard, and it was amazing to see another Black man not only being successful, but pushing others to be their best self. This is a must-listen podcast. Dr. Burgess is down to earth and talks about a wide variety of interesting topics. His combination of years of medical practice, humility, and enthusiasm add depth to each and every conversation. Every one of these messages reminds me why I started this: to make people feel less alone, to encourage someone who's burnt out, to help a future doctor know what's possible, to remind you that you are enough. So to every single listener, every guest who said yes, every review, every share, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. This podcast has truly been a journey of faith, purpose, and connection, and we're just getting started. More powerful stories, more real talk, more tools to help you thrive in every part of life. Here's to 4 years and to everything ahead. Let's keep walking this journey together. And as always, this is your last time out. Make it count.
Thank you for continuing to support this podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, then please leave a 5-star review. And if you haven't done so, subscribe so you continue to get the updated episodes. Until later, peace.
Hey, time out with the sports doctor. Keep our head right in the game. We ain't never stopping. You are now tuned in. Trust you don't want to miss. This is where life, sports, and medicine